You ever meet someone who thinks rules don't apply to them? Like, they smile at you real friendly while quietly plotting how to walk into your life, take what they want, and call it a community spirit. Yeah. That's what happened to me, and it nearly burned my damn biz alive. My name's Luke Mills. I'm 38, ex-grid engineer, now living off-grid by choice not ideology. After 20 years wrestling with public infrastructure, overpaid supervisors, and budget meetings that could kill a man, I cashed out and bought myself 70 acres of hills and pines in Northern Carolina. Just me, the wind, and a whole lot of quiet. I set up my own power system, built it from the ground up: solar panels, diesel backup, custom transformers, underground cabling laid inch by inch through hard dirt and rock all tuned to keep one thing running perfectly: my bees. See, I've got 16 hives nestled in a grove behind the southern fence. And these girls, they're everything. They keep to themselves, work hard, don't complain, kind of like the life I wanted when I moved out here. But they are sensitive to power changes. You mess with the voltage, even a little, their fans shut down, heat builds up, and within hours, the whole colony collapses. So when the HOA from down the hill, Sycamore Hills, all beige siding and passive-aggressive newsletter sent me a letter saying they wanted to temporarily tap into my power line, I laughed. Then I sent them a polite no, stapled to a notarized copy of my survey maps, infrastructure permits, and a reminder that this land, and that line, were mine. Period. They didn't take the hint. A week later, I got another letter, this time signed by Karen Burrows, the HOA president, someone who thinks authority is the same thing as being right. She accused me of being unneighborly, of creating a hostile energy environment, and threatened legal action if I didn't agree to voluntary integration. That's HOA speak for, give us your power or we'll find a way to take it. I reinforced my lines, doubled down on surveillance, and kept my phone close. And sure enough, 2 days later a work truck shows up. 2 guys in hard hats, one hauling cable like he owned the dirt under his boots. When I told them they were trespassing, clipboard guy flashed a permit with a red stamp and a bunch of official-sounding words. But I filed enough of those to know a fake when I see one. No county seal, no traceable ID. Just smoke and mirrors dressed up in legalese. I called the sheriff. He took one look and confirmed it completely fake. But it didn't end there. That night, Hive 11's fan hiccuped just a flicker, but it shouldn't have. I checked the diagnostic slight voltage drop. Traced the line. Found a splice buried in the dirt, underbrush and clay. Someone had dug in, tapped my grid. No insulation, mismatched wires, twisted joints sealed with tape like a high school science project. They weren't just trying to steal power, they were sloppy enough to kill bees. I looked in my attorney, Cynthia Bell, brilliant, ruthless, zero patience for HOA drama. We filed a cease and desist, then started gathering everything: video footage, photos of the splice, system logs. And then, twist number 2 walked through my gate. Tom Rivers. We used to work together, back when I still wore a badge and clocked in at City Grid HQ. Solid guy. He sat down at my table, wouldn't even touch his coffee, and pulled a USB drive from his jacket. Karen hired me off the books, he said. Told us it was a backup line. Said you'd never notice. I didn't know she'd splice your system, man. I thought we were just running tests. I didn't say anything. Just watched his hands tremble. She recorded everything, he added. Meetings, calls for leverage, I think. I made copies. That flash drive. It changed everything. Inside were 12 audio files, labeled by date. Karen's voice clear as day, he lives like a hermit. He won't even know we're on the line unless the bees start dying. The next morning, Hive 6 caught fire. A smoldering mess, melted fan, wiring blackened, air thick with the sour stench of burning wood and death. Dead bees scattered like ash. Someone had sabotaged the intake vents. Another hive had a rag stuffed in its fan. A third had its circuit blown from a voltage spike. It wasn't just negligence now, it was war. Surveillance footage showed 3 figures creeping near the apiary at 2:13 a.m. One carried a canister. One knelt beside Hive 6. 30 minutes later, smoke. I handed it all to Cynthia and the county sheriff. We added sabotage, livestock endangerment, and property destruction to the list. Then came the kicker. I found a document hidden behind the grounding panel on my line, a second forged permit, this time with a different name, Calvin Sellers, County Infrastructure Officer. Not just HOA now. This was administrative collusion. I drove straight to the county office, dropped the paper on his desk. "You signed this?" He stuttered. Claimed he thought it was a formality. Said Karen had brought it already signed. You ever watch someone realize their career just died in front of them? Yeah. Like that. And still they tried to push me. Sent an inspection order claiming my transformer posed a public hazard. Threatened forced shutdown if I didn't comply. That's when Cynthia and I fired back with 2 lawsuits, one against the HOA and Karen personally, another against the county for negligence and complicity. When we got to court, Karen strutted in like she was there to cut a ribbon. Claimed I was selfish. Said the community was desperate. Cynthia hit her with call recordings, sabotage footage, logs showing energy fees Karen had billed residents for my stolen power. She was selling electricity she didn't own, pocketing it under the guise of HOA dues. The judge. Not amused. 12 years federal time for Karen. 7 for Sellers. Community service. Stripped of their positions. I got $720,000 in damages, legal recognition of grid independence, and a ruling that now protects private microgrids statewide. It took weeks to fix what they broke. Hive 6 was gone, but I rebuilt it. The new queen settled in fine. The boss came back, steady and low, like a warning. I upgraded security thermal cams, motion lights, even a drone that does lazy loops over the perimeter every dusk. I posted a sign right where they tapped in, private line energy not for thieves. HOA not welcome. My neighbor Alan, retired firefighter, drove by one day, squinted at the sign, and asked, "You still keeping bees?" "Yeah," I said. "They still angry?" I just smiled. "Only if you're dumb enough to mess with what's theirs. So let me ask you, if someone tried to steal your power, endanger your home, and burn what you built, would you roll over? Or would you sting back?" Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about justice and the cost of pushing the wrong hive.